Okay, let's unpack this. If you work for the state of Florida, maybe you're a teacher, a city employee, or in law enforcement, you have to make this massive financial decision. We're talking about the Florida Retirement System, the FRS.
It's a huge system.
Colossal. I mean, we're looking at over 650,000 active members, almost 500,000 retirees. And the challenge for you listening right now is that the state basically gives you two very different, very complex paths. And that choice, it's pretty much set in stone early on.
It is. The stakes are incredibly high.
So our mission today is to really boil this down. We want to get at the heart of guaranteed security versus flexible portability. And then we're definitely going to dive into the strategic power of the DROP perk program.
That initial choice it's a big deal. The sources we looked at all say the same thing. After that 5th month of employment, you're locked in. It's not just paperwork. You're basically setting the blueprint for your financial life for decades.
Right.
But at its core, the FRS is meant to be a promise, a promise of stability for people in public service. The key is figuring out which of those promises fits your life.
Absolutely. So let's start right there. At that fork in the road, you have the FRS pension plan and the FRS investment plan. The jargon alone can be, well, a lot. How do you break down the real difference between them?
I like to think of it this way. Think of the pension plan, the defined benefit plan, like a guaranteed ferry ride.
Okay.
You pay your fare, which is your years of service, and no matter what the weather's like, that ferry is guaranteed to get you to retirement. There's a seat waiting for you every single month for the rest of your life. The state, they own the boat, they manage it, and they take on all the risk.
That sounds incredibly secure.
It is. Now, the investment plan, that's the defined contribution model. That's like the state giving you the cash to build your own speedboat.
Ah, I see where this is going.
Right. You pick the engine, you chart the course. If you catch a great current of bull market, you might get to your destination way faster and, with a lot more money. But if a storm hits, you bear all the risk. The responsibility is entirely on you.
So it's certainty versus potential.
That's it. What's fascinating is that FRS just lays both options on the table for you.
Let's stick with that guaranteed ferry ride for a minute. The pension plan. How do they actually figure out what that guaranteed monthly payment is going to be? It's not the same for everyone.
Not at all. It's a very precise formula. It comes down to 3 things. Your years of creditable service, your membership class, and this is the big one, your average final compensation, or AFC.
Okay, AFC. Let's break that down.
Right, because people get this wrong. It's not just your last salary. It's the average of your highest 5 consecutive years of pay. That 5-year peak earning window, that's the engine for the whole calculation.
So if I get a big promotion late in my career, those 5 years can dramatically lift my entire pension for life, even if I was making less for the 20 years before that.
Precisely. For most people, what they call the regular class, so teachers, state workers, the formula is 1.6% of that AFC times your years of service.
Can we do a quick example just to make it real?
Sure. Let's say we have Sarah, a teacher. She retires with an AFC of, let's say $75,000, and she's put in 30 years.
Okay.
So 1.6% times 30 years is 48%. She gets 48% of her $75,000 AFC as her annual pension. That's $36,000 a year, or $3,000 a month guaranteed. For life. Doesn't matter what the market does.
But the sources also talked a lot about the special risk class. That's a different calculation.
A very different calculation. And for good reason. The state recognizes that the careers for, law enforcement firefighters, they're more physically demanding, often shorter. So their multiplier isn't 1.6%, it's 3%.
Wow, that's nearly double.
It's a massive difference. So that same 30 years of service would give them a 90% payout. It's a huge benefit that reflects the nature of their work.
Okay, so Sarah retires. She's got her number. But she's not done making choices, is she? She has to pick a payment option.
And this is another huge, deeply personal decision. It's all about balancing your own income versus providing for a loved one. Option 1 gives you the biggest possible monthly check, but the payments stop the day you die.
High reward, high risk for a surviving spouse.
Exactly. Then there's option 2. It reduces your monthly check by about 5%, but in return, it guarantees payments will continue for at least 10 years, even if you pass away in year 1. It's like buying insurance.
So that 5% isn't just lost money, it's buying a guarantee.
Right. And then options 3 and 4 are all about protecting your spouse. Option 3 continues your full pension check to your survivor, which means a pretty big hit to your monthly payment while you're alive.
And option 4.
Option 4 is a bit of a middle ground. It continues 2/3 of the benefit to your survivor, so the initial reduction to your check isn't quite as steep as option 3.
That's a lot to weigh. Now, something else that came up, inflation, the cost of living adjustment, or COA. There's a sharp dividing line here, isn't there?
Oh, yes. This is a huge deal. It's all based on when you were hired. If you were enrolled before July 1st, 2011, you're what we'd call a legacy member. You get a 3% COLA on the benefits you earned before that date.
Which is powerful protection over a 20 or 30-year retirement.
It's automatic.
Yep.
But for anyone hired since then, what we call Tier 2 members, there is no automatic COLA.
Wait, why would they do that? I mean, if the goal is security, taking away inflation protection seems counterintuitive.
It really all comes down to the state managing its long-term financial promises. Guaranteeing a 3% raise for hundreds of thousands of people for decades is an enormous financial liability. So for newer hires, any increase depends on the legislature deciding to grant one.
So a Tier 2 retiree has to be a lot more worried about their purchasing power in 20 years.
A lot more. And, that's a huge reason someone might look at the other option.
Which brings us to the speedboat, the investment plan. This is all about control and flexibility, right? This is where it gets really interesting for someone who might not stay in one job for 30 years.
Absolutely. The mechanics are simple, like a 401k.
Yeah.
Every month, about 9% of your gross pay goes into your personal investment account.
And most of that is from the state.
Right. For regular class, the state puts in about 6.3%, and you put in 3%. For special risk, the state's contribution can be, up over 11%.
Okay, but the real magic here seems to be the vesting, 1 year.
That's its superpower. 1 year of service, and all the money in that account, including the state's contribution, is 100% yours. If you leave after, say, 15 months, you take it all with you. Roll it into an IRA, whatever you want.
That's a world away from the pension, where you have to wait 6 or even 8 years just to be promised a future check. This is your money now.
It is. It's designed for a modern mobile workforce, but, and this is the big but, you're taking on all the risk. You choose the funds, stocks, bonds, whatever, but if the market tanks, so does your account. There's no guarantee.
So if I'm a 25-year-old teacher, maybe I'm not sure if I'm going to be in Florida in 10 years. The investment plan sounds pretty tempting.
It's clearly the better choice if portability is your #1 priority. If you're comfortable managing investments and you might not hit that 8-year pension vesting mark, it's a no-brainer.
Let's pivot to what seems like the ultimate pension plan strategy, the Deferred Retirement Option Program, DROP. This thing sounds like a retirement cheat code.
It can feel like one.
Yeah.
It's a really powerful tool. Basically, once you're eligible to retire, you can say, okay, I'm retiring on paper, but I'm going to keep working.
And you keep getting your full salary.
You keep your salary. And the pension you would have been collecting starts getting deposited into a special DROP account.
And that account earns interest.
Yes, a guaranteed rate.
Yeah.
As of July 4, 2023, it's 4% a year, compounded.
So let's go back to Sarah, our teacher. She's eligible to retire. How does DROP work for her?
So Sarah decides to enter DROP for 5 years. Her $3,500 monthly pension check starts going into this account. After 5 years, that's $210,000 in benefits that have built up.
Mhm.
Plus, with that 4% interest, she's earned another, $21,000 or so on top of it. So on her last day of work, she gets her final paycheck, and she also gets a lump sum of over $230,000.
That is just staggering. But there's a catch. There has to be a catch.
There is, and it's a big one. The day you exit DROP, you must terminate your employment. It's a one-way street. You are formally retiring at that point.
So you have to be very, very sure about your timing.
Incredibly sure. It forces you to make a final decision.
This all brings up the timing of everything. We've talked about Tier 1 and Tier 2. Let's lay out those specific milestones for vesting and retirement because they are so different.
Right. The line in the sand is July 1st, 2011. If you were hired before that, you're Tier 1. For the pension plan, you're vested in 6 years. You can retire at age 62 with 6 years, or, and this is a big one, at any age with 30 years of service.
That 30 and out option is huge for people who start young.
It is. Now for Tier 2, everyone hired since then, the rules are stricter. Pension vesting takes 8 years.
So 2 more years of commitment.
Yes. And normal retirement is age 65 with 8 years of service, or you need 33 years of service to go at any age.
So everything is pushed back a bit.
A bit, yes.
Yeah.
And for special risk, their timelines are shorter, of course. For Tier 1, it's age 55 with 6 years, or any age with 25 years. But for everyone, if you try to take the pension early, your benefit is cut by 5% for every year you're short of that mark.
Okay, this is a ton of information, and a new employee has, what, 5 months to figure all this out? So what does this all mean? How do you put this all together to make a choice?
I think it comes down to being really honest with yourself about two things: your career plans and your comfort with risk. If you see yourself making a long-term career in public service, 20, 30 years, the pension plan is almost certainly the better, safer bet. It protects you from the market, and it protects you from outliving your money.
But if I'm that 25-year-old again, and I'm thinking I might move in 7 years.
Then the investment plan is designed for you. That one-year vesting is everything. You take the money and run, so to speak. You accept the market risk, but you get total freedom and control.
So it's almost like the 8-year pension vesting mark is the key timeline. If you think you'll make it past that, the pension becomes very attractive. If not, the investment plan is the way to go.
That's a great way to think about it. The decision really forces you to look down the road. And making the right one is worth, potentially hundreds of thousands of dollars over your lifetime. This isn't something to guess on.
No, absolutely not. The sources really emphasize that getting professional advice from someone who specializes in FRS is critical.
For sure. And speaking of strategy, let's go back to D-Drop for a final thought.
Okay.
So remember, your pension amount is frozen the day you enter D-Drop. It's based on your AFC at that moment. So here's the question you have to ask yourself. Is it better to enter D-Drop now and start collecting that lump sum with 4% interest? Or do you wait a few more years, keep working, get more raises, and lock in a much higher AFC, which means a bigger monthly pension check for the rest of your life?
That's a fascinating dilemma. You're weighing a guaranteed pile of cash now against a higher guaranteed income stream later. It really shows that this isn't just one decision, but a series of them.
Exactly. It's security versus optimization.
A great problem to be thinking about.
Mm.
Well, thank you for sharing your sources and taking this deep dive with us. We really hope this gives you the framework you need to make the best possible choice for your future.